Welcome to the SVG-TV News for Friday, May 22nd. I'm Khalil Kato. In the news, in light of the lack of rainfall, the Central Water and Sewerage Authority, the CWSA, says it has been forced to commence water rationing in several communities served by the Montreal system, which is below 50% of its usual production. The communities in which the water supply will be interrupted between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. at varying times, and as required according to the CWSA, are High Lomans, Newgrounds, Chapmans, Diamonds, Smith Valley, Macabrew, and New Adelphi. The CWSA says its engineering team is closely monitoring and managing its remaining systems, including interlinking where possible, in order to ensure a continuous supply to all residents for as long as possible. The company is appealing to all residents to observe strict water conservation measures, including a total ban on watering lawns and washing vehicles with hoses. Caretakers of schools and public buildings are also being asked to ensure that wastage is eliminated and to report leaks promptly to BRAGZA. The general public is also being asked to continue to report all roadside leaks promptly to the CWSA. As the world over today celebrates World Biodiversity Day, here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, specific focus is being placed on highlighting the good of the country's marine life. The local leg of the Eastern Caribbean Marine Management Areas Network Project, ECMAN, today launched the Pride Marine Public Awareness Campaign under the theme, "This is who we are. Our marine life, it's a beautiful thing." Director of the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority, Andrew Wilson, says his organization is functioning as the implementing agency of the project with support from several government ministries, NGOs, and individuals.
The F1 project, which has also been implemented in 5 other neighboring OECS countries, is being funded by the German Federal Ministry of the Environment, Nature Conservation, Building and Nuclear Safety, BMUB. The project has several key implementing partners regionally, 2 of whom are being represented here today, namely the Nature Conservancy by Dr. Sherry Constantine and the OECS Commission by Ms. Joan Norville. The launching of the National Pride Marine Public Awareness Campaign under the theme, Our Marine Life, It is a Beautiful Thing, and the Livelihood Support Small Grants Program is being administered through the OECS Commission and falls under Component 2 of ECMAN. This Component 2 seeks to build strong constituencies for sustainable livelihoods and ocean use. This really means that we should, in our local context, have a public that essentially through their actions and use of our marine resources demonstrates care and wise use of such spaces and resources.
Wilson said it must not be assumed that SVG will always naturally have beautiful beaches, clean seas, and a healthy, abundant fish stock, especially at a time when both natural and man-made impacts continue to adversely affect the marine environment.
The need for intervention, such as the ones we are undertaking today. As we embark on this creative National Pride Marine campaign over the next 6 months under the theme, Our Marine Life, It is a Beautiful Thing, I would also like to encourage and appeal to other private sector companies to join us in extending the reach and positive impacts of the public awareness program. As for example, Salt Easy Limited through their local manager has done today by partnering us along with the Annisville Villa service station operator by offering the public petrol customers today the chance to win free gas. Both this afternoon at the Fountain and also at this afternoon at the Fountain service station, we also have been given the opportunity by Salt to have an information educational booth, and we are really happy for this gesture, which was all facilitated at very short notice. We hope that other corporate entities and civic-minded citizens will partner with us over the next 6 months as we climax the public awareness campaign at Independence.
Member of ECMAN's communications team, Jay Belmar, provided an overview of the Pride Marine campaign activities and explains that the campaign seeks specifically to relive the moments when persons fell in love with any aspect of nature.
So this is who we are. The campaign is a marine conservation campaign that is conducted at a national level, which seeks to increase national pride, encourage widespread stakeholder involvement, which you can see Sol is involved, Paradise Beach. So we have many stakeholders who have agreed to partner and team up with us on this campaign. And we hope to promote conservation and the sustainable use of our marine resources. So our local theme, each island, we were told to select a local theme, and our local theme is Our Marine Life, It's a Beautiful Thing. So our mission is to raise awareness in SVG among our key target audiences to effect positive behavioral and attitude changes and to improve and sustain the quality of our marine resources. So locally, as you heard, the National Parks is the implementing agency for this project, and the ECMAN project will be implemented across 6 OECS countries, namely St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Grenada. But in the end, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we're going to win this project.
And at today's launching event, 4 livelihood small grants were presented. The grants, totaling $230,000, were presented to representatives of Serenity Dive, Dive St. Vincent, and the National Fisherfolk Organization. As the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade, Commerce and Information Technology wraps up Service Week here, Vincentian service providers are being reminded that power comes from unity. This advice came from the Ministry's Trade Officer Okolo John Patrick at an exhibition held yesterday at the Peace Memorial Hall. She says there is no doubt that greater gains can be had when service providers become part of a unified group.
Seeing that trade and services contribute a significant percentage to our GDP, it is important that the sector be organized and developed. So we are encouraging the service providers to form association so that issues such as registration, licensing, and the whole organization of the sector will be dealt with. So we are appealing to persons, if you have not yet visited the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Coalition of Services, that they should try and arrange a meeting with them where that organization will be able to develop the sector.
Executive Director of the SVG Coalition of Service Industries, CSI, Marissa Faisal, is encouraging service providers to get in contact with the CSI to become more knowledgeable about stronger leverage, which can attract investors.
Association of associations. So we don't necessarily work with individual service providers. The work we do with service providers is to try and get them to form associations among themselves. So let's work with the Fashion Association because that's the most recent group that we've been working with. It's important for designers to know that as a service provider, there's more benefit to you being a part of an association as a part of a group because you have a stronger leverage position. You can then bargain, you can then source manufacturing deals collectively. So the association works as part cooperative, so it helps you in reducing your overhead costs because you have people in there that are using the same materials. It helps you with sourcing manufacturing deals because then you can come together, and instead it gives you a chance to offset the scale issues because we are so small. Then together we have a stronger chance of succeeding.
And Faisal is encouraging persons who do informal business to get registered, noting that they will be able to gain from better regulations on import duties.
It's not a strong culture of associations here in St. Vincent. So what we're trying to do is to get individual service providers, one, to register their business because we find that there are a lot of people that are still operating in the informal sector. So one, it's important to register. I know that a lot of people are hesitant because they think that once I register that will mean tax implications and other things. But it also, and that is true, that you are going to have to pay taxes. That is just a part of life, unfortunately. But the good thing that it does is it gets you in the official database. Because if I don't know, if I'm representing, say, fashion designers, and there's only 5 officially registered fashion houses in St. Vincent, I can't then go to the government and say, look, we need better regulation for import duties, or anything that can help the individual providers better themselves. So for us, we're trying to get people to see, one, it's important to get formalized, so get yourself registered. Join an association, and then we're trying to get the associations to help their individual providers by providing trainings, by giving them help in developing export plans, by helping them take their businesses to the next level.
Here's a look at some of the businesses which participated in yesterday's exhibition.
It's a collective management organization. We license persons who use music, so therefore every time it is used, these persons should be compensated.
The CD for us is a Center of Enterprise Development. It is a government-funded business that helps develop other business around St. Vincent. I want to say to the public that for young people, if you have a business idea or you want to go and launch into your own business, that you can come to the Center for Enterprise Development. We can help you.
If one ingests food that is contaminated, it can lead to health issues and probably death. So it is very important that we stay in connection with the international community. So if it is labeled wrong or incorrectly, there's a mistake. Sometimes persons may be allergic to certain food, right? So they can consume something that they are allergic to and then cause a reaction, and they have to probably visit the doctor.
SVG AMP is about development of the music industry in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to bring a level of professionalism to bear on activities in that area. And we do that by putting on workshops for our members.
CSI has a three-part mandate to educate service providers locally, to promote their provision, so all the services that they provide, and to advocate on behalf of all of our members so that the government puts in place a proper regulatory framework to support a business environment for us to make money.
Crime and violence are social evils which have the ability to leave a lasting negative impact on individuals, communities, and economies. Well, that's according to Deputy Commissioner of Police Reynold Hathaway, speaking at a recently held Pan Against Crime event in Richland Park. Hathaway says there's an urgency for proper guidance and training to be given to the nation's youth while they're young and are yet to learn about the huge impacts that decision-making can have on their future.
Crime and violence is a social evil that impacts negatively on all our communities. Many are left stigmatized and scarred for the rest of their lives. Some even find it virtually impossible to turn their lives around, having ventured out into a life of crime and criminality. It deprives our people on occasions of their family members, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, and others. Crime and violence impacts adversely on our nation's productivity when young persons' lives are taken away. Young persons who otherwise would have had an opportunity to lead very successful lives in their various communities, thereby making St. Vincent and the Grenadines a better and safer place.
The Deputy Police Commissioner says it is the responsibility of all Vincentians to preserve a bright future for the nation's youth.
It is against this backdrop that the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force has undertaken its outreach programs in our effort to steer our nation youths away from criminal activities. This, we hope, will continue to strengthen and further develop sound social and moral values among the young persons of this blessed land. Over the years, these programs have touched the lives and continue to touch the lives of thousands of our young people in a very positive way. One such program is the DARE program, which started in the primary school many years ago and have now moved on to secondary schools. We also have our various summer programs.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Commissioner says that the RSVGPF is dedicated to finding ways of ensuring that the children are not lost to crime and violence. He says that the police department has made it their mission to preserve the Vincentian heritage by providing various mediums for the children to focus their energies while developing sound morals and values.
Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, in collaboration with the Pan Against Crime Committee, National Commission on Crime Prevention, and other social partners, continues our drive to prevent our young people from gravitating towards crime and violence. Instead, it is our desire that they will become men and women of tomorrow who would lead very positive and productive lives as well. And we are asking you to believe in us, continue believing in us, and we will not fail you. We will not let you down.
Zoe Millington of Cannon Cakes has emerged as the top baker in the 2015 Eastern Caribbean Group of Companies ECGC National Baking Competition. With a myriad of baked goodies and treats at the tasting and prize-giving ceremony yesterday at the Methodist Church Hall, this year's competition may have been the best ever. Sharon Garraway tells us more.
Okay, and the first place goes to Zoe Millington. Zoe Millington, second-time winner of the ECGC National Baking Competition.
With her amazing herbs and garlic morning cupcake, Zoe Millington stole the competition, taking the national prize as top baker for 2015 and pocketed a cash prize of $3,000 in the ECGC annual baking competition. Millington of Cannon Cakes fame, who won in 2013, says she came back with vigor after she did not cop the prize in 2014.
It was a certain drive, so I wanted to do something different, and the whole wheat flour, not a lot of people use it. My family normally bake with it on a weekly basis, and I enjoy it, so I just wanted to share that with everybody, the versatile use of it.
Second place and $2,000 went to Joanne Lane, a chef at Ultramarine at Musty Company, with her ginger tea red velvet coconut cake.
How did you come up with this invention here with a teapot? How did you ever even think of something like this?
It's from my mother's. Every time you get sick, she will give you ginger. So ginger was like a favorite. So I said, okay, I steam the ginger and see what comes out of it. I make a ginger tea and then I fold it into the dough and get ginger tea cup.
While the third spot of $1,000 was taken by Anna Phillips of Phillips Bakery with her lemongrass rosemary fusion.
I feel very pleased about the competition. I like to see when people can produce good things, and I know them got talent among our people.
The Western George Secondary School took the top prize award. Teacher Janelle Lewis says she was pleased with the efforts of her students. The food and nutrition and home management teacher, who has a degree in culinary arts, says the business of food is a viable area to pursue.
And I always encourage my students to do a skilled subject because it helps them in the future, to always have a little money in their pocket. They're able to make extra money on the side of their other jobs, or it could become their main job.
Second place in the student award was Kes Small with his wax apple plum rose pie and the ECG pumpkin spice bread, while first place went to Alana Blondell with a pineapple upside down cake and spinach sausage wheat bread. Patrons at the event say their palates were treated to numerous delights.
Everything tastes nice.
Well done. I really enjoyed it. That Shane cheesy bread. It tastes real great.
So many varieties of bread, cakes, pastries, and they're tasting very delicious, very colorful.
And what have you tasted? What have you tasted?
I don't know what this is, so it tastes good.
And how you feel about the competition itself?
Good.
It's very, very pleased to see the different categories and the very high standard. I think this is something that we'd like to see go on and on year after year, and there were so many young people. I think this would have been an inspiration to them as well.
This year they've been more creative, at least ECG has been more creative with the type of flowers, and what I've tasted so far has been incredible. Right now my mouth is very overwhelmed.
Did you taste anything?
Yes, please.
And what did you like to eat?
Everything.
Other overall winners were Nikia Bino in the bread category with her mango banana spice loaf. In pastry, Janine John won with her cherry wheat coconut shot. And in the specialty area, Zoe Millington took the top prize for herbs and garlic cupcakes. Sharon Garraway reporting for SVG Television News.
Chief Judge in the 2015 ECGC Baking Competition, Ali Mejahed, said he was extremely pleased with the high quality of items produced by the participants. Mejahed said this is the 6th year of the competition, and compared to the other Caribbean countries, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is far ahead and could even be on par with France in the quality of baked eateries.
I just want you to remember that we all participants of building a greater St. Vincent, right? In the region, going around 13 or 14 countries with ECGC over the years. I just came back from Dominica, and I can tell you our standard of baking in St. Vincent is extremely high. When I say extremely high, we're talking quality, we're talking ability of producing items that are well over what we can find from where I come from, which is a great country named France, right? Everybody believes that the greatest thing comes from there, but believe me now, I am no one to convince that St. Vincent reach at least where France is today, right? That congratulations to you guys.
Major Head also praised ECGC for producing new flour products for customers.
ECGC have recently added a number of flour, and we're still working in the lab with Miss Lanelle Black and her team, right, in actually producing a number of flour, right? Mr. Davy is very excited about it, Miss Aslam as well, and I think instead of bringing products from overseas, we should be able to produce them. Right? It's more income for us in St. Vincent, right? And I'm sure you would agree with me, Minister, right, that we should do more, right? And we have the capability, we have the people that can do it. And for us to be able to use now rye flour, pumpernickel, multigrain, urban garlic, and all of those sorts of flour, we're going to be adding pastry flour, we'll be adding other items that are very exciting to use, right?
The Chief Executive Officer of ECGC, Osmond Davy, expressed gratitude to the bakers for being a part of the competition. He says over the 38 years that the ECGC has been in existence, they have also sponsored the school's home economics competition for some 18 years and are pleased to be a part of the National Baking Contest for the 6th year. He says that the manufacturing company invests in its people by training bakers throughout the region. Davy also highlighted that the annual baking competition aims to foster a better relationship with bakers who continually use their products.
Today we continue to add the skills of bakers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the OECS by organizing baking seminars in bakeries throughout the region, training in all of the markets. Today, the National Baking Competition is just not a competition to distribute prizes, but rather the genuine effort on the company's part to make a deep and direct contribution to the proliferation of culinary skills and by extension the further development of small business enterprises in the country.
Minister of Agriculture Saboto Caesar also congratulated the ECGC on its continued development of the culinary arts. He said students at the Technical College are embarking on a project in which they will be utilizing local crops to make flour. Hence, they will need all the resources they can get.
And I really want our local entrepreneurs to utilize the raw material being produced as a significant ingredient in your businesses. I know that there is a growing trend today towards using composite flour, and that is flour made from material, for example, like the sweet potatoes, the dasheen, the cassava, the breadfruit. And I want to congratulate the Technical College. They had an excellent program, and it's ongoing, where they produce flour from 100% locally produced material.
The stage is now set for the Miss Bethel High School Heritage Pageant to be held tomorrow at the school in Camden Park. The pageant seeks to showcase the inherent talents of the inherent talents and potential of the 6 contestants, as well as the other students who will be providing added entertainment. The contestants are Zekiah Cottle, Miss National Heroes, Mauricia Cuffey, Miss Whitsuntide, Jalicia Bilingi, Miss Regatta, Eticia Burke, Miss Vincy Mass, Shamika Knights, Miss Independence, and Carice Lewis, Miss 9 Mornings. The show begins at 6 p.m. As Carnival revelers gear up for Hits 103.7's Soca Swing next Sunday, May 31st, on Carnival Beat this evening, we're featuring another of the artists set to perform at the show. Kamara Kido Foster is a performer that is sure to thrill the audience with his songs Spree and Service. The young entertainer says he has always loved music and encourages other artists to pursue their dreams as well.
I just had a serious interest for music, and the funny thing is I couldn't like play any instruments, which I found strange. I wanted to play instruments, but I couldn't play any instrument, and I just started singing more and more, and I started to develop into something unique where my classmates would tell me, you could sing very well, and the girls would, share the same sentiment. But there it was just singing for fun until I got to college, and I kind of met with the famous Reka, as most persons would know him. Ricardo was very instrumental in developing my musical career, because he really encouraged me to take it on a professional level.
The school teacher by day and the performer during his spare time credits Soca Swing for giving local talents the opportunity to shine.
And they need to be placed on a platform where they can always express themselves and they can always connect with their fans. We hardly get to do that, even when they get to do that, the time frame is very limited. Soca Swing in particular puts it on a very different level where they get to just display themselves freely, and patrons can come, and I've heard people talk about Soca Swing over and over. It's like Soca Swing, it sets a certain standard for local entertainment. First of all, it's not that pricey, and you get to see your local stars. I mean, over the years, there have been the foreign artists as well, but the main focus is on the local stars, and we really appreciate that.
And that's Carnival Beat for this evening.